question number 4. So, yung question number 4 is the embedded YouTube clips, files, documents, and image are very useful in my classes. So, in here, 10.4% yung pinaka-total way average niya, yung percentage. So, sa survey na to, 34% of the respondent strongly agree, 58% agreed, and 2% lang yung, or 6% yung neither, and 2% lang yung nag-disagree. So, with these additional features ng Edmodo, it helps actually the students to learn more about the topic. So, since online learning is more of self-learning na pace or more on self-acquired na knowledge, so yung additional informations na related sa topic is really helpful sa mga estudyante. So, top 2 naman for the advantage is the question 5, which is it is great that Edmodo allow us to get immediate feedback from our activity, quizzes, and assignment. So, this question 5 actually have gained a percentage of 10.6% of the general weight po. And in here, 34% of the respondents strongly agreed, 64% naman yung nag-agreed, and 2% lang yung nag-disagree. So, with lack of face-to-face interaction, getting feedback with the activity, meron siyang impact sa mga students natin. So, with these features of Edmodo, students can keep track on their grades or score if they are failing or they need to improve more. So, based on the feedback na nakuha nila sa kanilang mga activity. So, yung pinaka-top na advantage natin would be the question 7. So, yung question 7 is another advantage of Edmodo is that it sends alert and reminder which needs to be completed. So, in here, nakakuha siya ng 11.1% sa pinaka-way average natin. 52% strongly agreed, so more than half ng mga respondent strongly agreed. Then, yung 46% naman agreed, and 2% yung neither agreed or disagreed. So, in here, with so many distractions for online learning, so being reminded with which need to be completed first will actually big help sa mga estudyante, especially that maraming mga ginagawa outside, not unlike sa face-to-face classroom na nandun lang kayo sa room. With online learning, mas marami kasi yung distraction. That's why it's really a big help. Alright, and sa mga feature ni Edmodo is these reminders para matuto yung mga estudyante which needs to be completed first. We're going to proceed naman with the disadvantages. So, yung top 3 natin na disadvantage, una dito would be yung question 15, wherein it's a little bit tricky to use at the beginning, especially if you do not have much knowledge about it. So, dito sa question na to, nakakuha siya ng 10.5% sa pinaka-way average natin. 68% agree dito sa disadvantage nito. So, marami sila. And 18% strongly disagree. So, and then 6% naman yung disagree. So, actually, yung burden dito sa part na to was actually lessen sa mga ICCT student kasi nagkaroon tayo ng free classes given prior the actual class. Yung nga lang, most of us did not take it really seriously, kaya nahirapan pa rin nung nilaunch na yung talagang platform for learning. So, which actually sana in the future, yung mga first time nagagamit nitong Edmodo, in the future would also be given these free classes or pre-classes before talaga mag-start yung class nila para ma-familiarize din yung sarili na with the using Edmodo. So, next na disadvantage natin would be the question 13. So, si question 13 got 11.2% sa pinaka-general way average natin. And 48% strongly disagree, 36% yung nag-agree, then 10% neither, 6% yung nag-disagree. So, having a good internet connection is actually a must when answering activity. So, luckily, sa ating mga estudyante, the teachers give us 1 hour allotted time to do the activity. So, if in case man na ma-disconnect ka or mabagal talaga internet, that 1 hour actually help us to complete yung pinaka activity. So, just make sure lang na again, before you start the activity, dapat ready na yung pinaka-connection mo. Last pinaka-top na disadvantage naman would be yung question 20. So, question 20 is Edmodo is free but still costly since you need to be online to answer quizzes and activity. So, nakakuha ito ng 11.3% sa way average. 46% strongly agree and 42% naman yung nag-agree. And 2% disagree and 2% neither and strongly disagree then 2%. So, basically, libre lang naman yung paggamit ng Edmodo. Yun nga lang, because of the pandemic, since marami yung nawala ng trabaho, bawat piso, bawat sentavo counts. Kaya, it really helps na free yung application Edmodo. Yun nga lang, because of the internet access na kailangan talagang mag-connect palagi, nagiging costly pa rin yung paggamit ng Edmodo. So, we're hoping that nagkaroon dito ng offline version in the future para naman yung mga cost or yung mga walang internet is ma-afford palalo yung paggamit nitong Edmodo. So, to summarize itong pinaka result na nakuha natin. So, again, overall, the study shows positive result in using Edmodo for online learning. Okay, one of the key features ng Edmodo is its capability to organize communications between teachers and learners. So, it's very common na for all students to rush sa mga activity. So, it really help as well na meron yung reminders or notification alerts being provided from time to time sa Edmodo. So, also, being able to see the upcoming events helps students to prioritize kung alin ba yung kanilang unahing activity. And also, yung receiving feedback for the students' work actually boost their learning, alright? Kung they're doing a good job or hindi. So, the disadvantage using the Edmodo are more really sa external variables, not within the application but rather sa internet connection or familiarization sa navigation of the application. So, we would really highly recommend na continue yung paggamit ng application since it has more favorable advantage over its disadvantages. So, the conclusion of this study is that overall, the way average shows that ICC students are more favored on the advantages rather than on the disadvantages ng Edmodo. So, it also indicates that the disadvantages are really more of external factor rather than the features and functionality. So, with the ability to embed yung other learning materials, it shows that Edmodo is a flexible platform. And with this, the learning has become more effective and help ICCT students to overcome the learning obstacles during this time of pandemic. So, our recommendation based with our research there are actually never-ending hurdle for the students to overcome throughout the learning journey. So learning to adapt in the changes is always a must. And since all aspect that Edmodo has more advantage for learners and at the same time teachers and for parents for in this new normal setup, so we the researcher highly recommend to continue using the Edmodo as platform for learning for the ICCT students. So that's all for the presentation of our research. Thank you very much for the time. And also, if you have any questions, please just let us know so we can provide immediate feedback. Thank you. So the assumption and hypothesis of this study is that to identify the pros and cons and then impact in the learning process of ICCT student and also can all students afford to use the Edmodo. For scope and limitation naman, for the focus of this study is more on the advantages and disadvantages lang. And the limitations for our study is that respondents are more of the ICCT students from Cainta main campus because of the limitation of contacts with other schools or other year level.